Hi guys, this is Prashant. From today onwards, we will discuss about the applied physics. Within the applied physics, the first topic is the quantum mechanics. Okay, so then what is mean by quantum mechanics here? So before going to discuss about this quantum mechanics, we need to learn about the classical mechanics. So what is mean by classical mechanics here? So once you observe this classical mechanics, so the mechanics, the word mechanics, what is mean by mechanics here? So mechanics is nothing but here the subject which is deals with the motion of a body, the subject which is deals with a motion of a body. Okay, so then mechanics is nothing but it will deals with the motion of a body. So then what is mean by classical mechanics here? So the classical mechanics is nothing but here the subject which is deals with the motion of a macroscopic bodies, which is deals with the motion of a macroscopic bodies. So what is mean by macroscopic bodies? Okay, so the classical mechanics deals with the macroscopic bodies motion. Okay, so macroscopic motion. Okay, then what is mean by macroscopic bodies here? Okay, so what is mean by macroscopic bodies here? So macroscopic bodies are nothing but the bodies which can visible by our eye, or the bodies which are observed by eyes, so those are known as a macroscopic bodies. Okay, so that means the classical mechanics is nothing but so it will deals with the motion of a macroscopic bodies. Okay, it will deals with a uh, motion of a macroscopic bodies, macroscopic bodies. Okay, so that is about the classical mechanics. Okay, so then what about the quantum mechanics? Classical mechanics is nothing but it will deals with the motion of a macroscopic bodies. Then what is mean by quantum mechanics here? The quantum mechanics is nothing but it will deals with the motion of a microscopic bodies, microscopic bodies. In before case macroscopic is nothing but which can visible or which can observe by human eye, those are known as a macroscopic bodies. So microscopic bodies are nothing but which cannot visible or which cannot observe by the human eye, those are known as a microscopic bodies. Okay, so macroscopic as well as a microscopic. So macroscopic bodies are explained by the classical mechanics, microscopic bodies are explained by the quantum mechanics. That means within this quantum mechanics we are discussed about the motion of the microscopic bodies. So what are the microscopic bodies are we have, sir? So those are nothing but electron, for example. Electron is a microscopic body. So our particle is also a microscopic body only. Or the proton, okay, so our photon, are neutron. Okay, so these are all the which one microscopic bodies only. So within this unit we are always discussed about this microscopic bodies only. Okay, so that is about the quantum mechanics. Quantum mechanics is nothing but it will deals with the motion of a microscopic bodies. Those are nothing but electron, photon, proton, neutron, particle. Okay, so all these are all the microscopic bodies only. So within the quantum mechanics, okay, so we have the two subtopics. Those are nothing but here particle nature as well as the wave nature. Okay, particle nature as well as the wave nature. Within this quantum mechanics unit or quantum mechanics topic, we have the two natures. Those are nothing but particle nature as well as a wave nature. So what is mean by here particles, sir? What is mean by particle? So the particle is nothing but it is a subatomic element. It is a subatomic element. Okay, so then what is mean by waves are here? Okay, so particle is nothing but it is a subatomic element, a small amount of element. So then what is mean by wave here? So simply we already know that wave topic within our intermediate. Okay, we well known about the wave. So wave is nothing but the spread out of a disturbance in a medium. So for example, if I throw a ball, if I throw a uh, particular iron piece or a stone within the water, what happen, Anna? So particular disturbance will be created within that water. Okay, so before going to we drop the stone within the water, what happened? They will be stable, the waters are the stable, but whenever we drop the iron or whenever we drop the particular stone within the water, what happens? Certain amount of disturbances are created. Okay, so the disturbances are nothing but, for example, here this is the water we have. Okay, so when I drop the water, when I drop the stone within this water, what happened? The disturbances are created like this within that water. Yes or no? Okay, so these disturbances are moving from this center point to the outer point. Okay, yes or no? So those disturbances are moving from the center point to outer point. So that means here the due to the dropping of iron or the stone within the water, what happened? Another the disturbances are created. So due to these disturbances, what happened? The energy also transfer from this center point to the outer point. That means the energy will be moving from the center point to the outer point. Okay, so that means here the disturbance is nothing but it is in the form of wave. Okay, so ara here this disturbance is known as a wave only. Okay, so the disturbance within this medium, okay, not only water or air, whatever be the medium. Okay, so the disturbance which is created within a medium is known as a wave. Okay, so here the work of this wave is nothing but just it will be transfer the energy from one point to another point. Here the energy will be transferred from this center point to the outer point. So in that manner, what happened? The wave will be transfer the energy from one point to another point. Okay, so and this wave in the form of which one? This wave in the form of sinusoidal form or sinusoidal form. Okay, so once you observe this wave will consisting of one positive cycle as well as a one negative cycle. Okay, so this is the mean position of a wave. Okay, so this is the main position of a wave, and this wave will consisting, okay, one positive cycle and one negative cycle. Okay, so whenever we have the one positive and one negative cycle, so then we can say that it is a complete cycle of a wave. This is the total complete cycle of a wave. So and one more, we have positive cycle as well as a negative cycle. That means we consisting of two wave cycles here. Okay, so that's when we can say that here we have the two positive cycles as well as the two negative cycles. That is about the wave. Okay, so particle as well as a wave. Okay, within the quantum mechanics topic, we have the two natures. Those are the particle nature as well as a wave nature. So particle is nothing but it is a subatomic element. So wave is nothing but it will be disturbance created within a medium. So and that disturbance must be in the form of a sinusoidal form. Okay, so these sinusoidal form will consisting of one positive cycle as well as a one negative cycle, and these two, if you are if we are adding both of them, then we can say that it is a complete cycle of a wave. Okay, so that is about the particle as well as the wave. Okay, so then what are the properties we have for the particle? So the properties of the particle are nothing but mass. Why? Because every particle will consisting compulsory mass, and the second one is the velocity is the one more property of the particle, and the next one, if we have the mass and velocity for a body or for a particle, then will compulsory consisting of momentum. So and the last one is the energy. Okay, so these are the properties we have for the particle: mass, velocity, momentum as well as energy. And the next one, wave, the properties of wave. So what are the properties of wave we have? Okay, so we first one is the wavelength. Okay, so we are discuss these things later. Okay, wavelength. So the second one is the amplitude, and the third one is the wave velocity, and frequency. Okay, so these are the some of the properties we have for the wave, and these are the some of the properties we have for the particle. Okay, so that is about the particle as well as the wave natures which are present within the quantum mechanics. Okay, so these quantum mechanics was introduced by whom? Okay, so the quantum mechanics was introduced by the scientist Max Planck. Okay, so Max Planck, quantum mechanics was introduced by the scientist Max Planck. Okay, so according to the Max Planck, okay, according to the Max Planck, the is energy is energy is transferred. Okay, the energy is transferred by the particle. The energy is transferred by the particle. Okay, so according to Max Planck, the energy of any body always transferred by the particle. But according to the scientist Bohr, here the energy of any body, okay, will be transferred by the wave. Okay, will be transferred by the wave, or it will be transferred by the radiation. Okay, so how it will be transferred by the radiation? For example, these are the two energy levels we have, okay, for an atom. So what happened here? The electron is in the higher energy level. Okay, so what happened? It will be, while it will be moving from higher energy level to lower energy level, it will compulsory emit the energy in the form of radiation. In the form of which one? Radiation. So that's mainly the Bohr said that here the energy will be transferred in the form of a which one? Wave, or the energy will be transferred by the wave. Okay, so according to the Max Planck, the energy was transferred by the particle, but according to the Bohr, what happened? The energy will be transferred in the form of radiation, or it will be transferred by the wave. Okay, so that is about the Max Planck energy transformation as well as the Bohr's energy transformation. Okay, so based on the Max Planck as well as the Bohr, what happened? The de Broglie, the scientist de Broglie, was again suggested one more theory. So that based on whom? Based on the Max Planck as well as the Bohr, the de Broglie suggested one more theory, that is nothing but here the energy will be transferred in the form of a particle as well as a wave. That means according to the de Broglie, every moving particle, every particle must be associated with the wave nature or wave. Okay, so that means particle as well as a wave both are associated with each other. Okay, so according to the de Broglie, the particle and wave both are associated with each other. How they are associated? Once you observe here I am taking one particle. Okay, so then what happened? We are supplying certain amount of energy to this particle. So whenever we are supplying certain amount of energy to this particle, what happened? It will be in the motion. Okay, it will be in the motion. So whenever we are supplying the energy to this particle, what happened? This particle is in the motion. Okay, so whenever the particle is in the motion, it will compulsory exhibit the wave nature due to its vibration. Okay, it will compulsory exhibit the wave nature due to its vibration. Okay, so how it will be vibrated? Due to the absorption of energy, what happened? It will be vibrated. Okay, due to the absorption of energy, okay, it will be vibrated. Due to this vibration, it will be compulsory exhibit the wave nature. So according to de Broglie, so what happened here? We are consider one particle. Okay, so whenever we are supplying certain amount of energy, okay, so we are consider one particle. So then we are applying certain amount of energy to this particle. So whenever we are applying the energy to the particle, so what happened? The particle will get excited. So due to the excitation, it will be moving from one region to another region. That means this particle, okay, so this particle will be moving one region to another region. Okay, so that means while we are supplying the external energy to this particle, so what happened? It will be in the motion, or it will existing, or it will absorbing. Due to the absorption of energy, it will get certain amount of energy and it will be in the motion. So that's mainly here what happened. Here this particle is in motion, or it will be moving from one region to another region. Whenever it will be moving from one point to another point, or from one region to another region, it will compulsory exhibit the wave nature. It will compulsory exhibit the wave nature. Okay, so that is suggested by the whom? That is suggested by the de Broglie. So that's mainly the de Broglie said that every particle, once you listen here, so initially it is a particle, but whenever we are supplying the external energy to the particle, so what happen, it will, due to the absorption of energy, it will be moving from one region to another region. So whenever it will moving from one to another medium or one to another region, what happen, it will exhibit the wave nature also. That means here we have the both, and within the same object we have the particle as well as a wave. So that's when the de Broglie say that here particle as well as a wave both are associated with each other. Okay, so are the every moving particle will exhibit the wave nature. That was suggested by the scientist de Broglie. Okay, so now we are discussing, or we need to find out the wavelength of the de Broglie. Okay, so we already discussed how the waves are associated with the particle, but now we need to find about the wavelength of the de Broglie. So before going to the find out of de Broglie's wavelength, so then what is mean by wavelengths? Okay, we need to find out the wavelength. What is mean by wavelength? Okay, so what is the definition of wavelength? Okay, so this is the mean position of a wave. Okay, so initially here we have the particle. So while we are supplying the external energy to this particle, what happen, it will be in the motion. Okay, so due to this motion, it will exhibit the wave nature. So and this wave is always in the form of sinusoidal form. Okay, so here this is about the one crust. Okay, so are the upper layer, we can also say that the upper layer or upper cycle. Okay, so here positive cycle, and this is a negative, and this is a positive one, and this is a negative one. Okay, so and the upper one is known as a crust. Okay, so this upper crust, upper layer is known as a crust, and this one also crust, and this one, the lower one, is known as a trough. These are the some of the basics of the wave. Okay, so and this is also one more trough. Okay, so and within this wave we have the two crusts as well as the two troughs. Okay, so what is the definition of a wave, sorry, wavelength? Okay, so the wavelength is nothing but it is the distance. Okay, it is the distance, or it is the successful distance in between the two crusts, or it is the successful distance in between the two troughs. Okay, simply it is a distance in between the two crusts, or it is a distance in between the two troughs. Okay, so that is about the wavelength. Okay, so and this wavelength is always represented by lambda. This wavelength is always represented by lambda. Okay, so what is the wavelength here? Wavelength is nothing but here simply it is the successful distance in between the two crusts, or it will be successful distance in between the two troughs. Okay, so that is about the wavelength. So now we need to find out the de Broglie's wavelength. Okay, so what is the de Broglie's wavelength here? Okay, so already de Broglie said that every moving particle, okay, for example this is a particle, every moving particle will compulsory exhibit the wave nature also. Okay, so it will be exhibit the wave nature, and these waves are known as a matter waves. Okay, these waves are known as a matter waves. Now we need to find out the wavelength of these matter waves. Okay, we need to find out the wavelength of these matter waves. Okay, so for that one, again we are consider one particle. Okay, same thing. Okay, again we are consider the particle, and we are supplying certain amount of energy. Then how much of energy you are supplied here? So we are supplying the E is equals to h nu much of energy. So what is mean by E is equals to h nu? So that is a Planck's value. Okay, or Planck's energy. So E is equals to h nu is nothing but that is a photon energy. Okay, photon energy. How much of energy you are supplied to the particle? Photon energy will supply to the this particle. So then what happened, due to the absorption of photon energy, so this particle tends to in the motion, or it will be get certain amount of movement. So then it will be moving from one region to another region. Whenever it will be moving from one region to another region, so then what happen, it will compulsory exhibit the which nature, it will be compulsory exhibit the wave nature. So that's why we need to find out the wavelength. Okay, so we need to find out the wavelength. Okay, so that wavelength is known as a de Broglie wavelength. Then how you can find out? Okay, so we already how much of energy we are supplying. E is equals to h nu much of energy we are supplying here. Okay, E is equals to h nu much of energy we are supplying here. So then but according to the Einstein mass energy relation, so what happened? According to the Einstein mass energy level, energy equation. So the moving particle will consisting of energy how much, and here E is equals to mc square. That is the Einstein mass energy relation. Okay, so every moving particle will consisting of this much of energy. E is equals to mc square. Here c is nothing but velocity or speed of light, and m is the mass of object, and E is nothing but energy, and within this equation, okay, E is equals to h nu. Here also we can write that one. E is equals to h nu. For example, this is equation number 1 and this is equation number 2. Okay, so once you observe here, both are the energies of the particles only. Okay, both are the energies of the particles only. Okay, so within the second equation, once you observe, h is the Planck's constant, which is having the value of h is equals to 6.625 into 10 to the power of minus 34 joule second. Okay, so and next one here, nu is nothing but frequency, so that is also written in the form of c by lambda. Okay, nu is nothing but frequency. Okay, so from 1 and 2 both are the energies of the particle, so that's why we need to equate both of them. Then 1 is equals to 2, so while we are equating both of them, so what happened, h nu is equals to, we can write it as a mc square. Okay, so then this nu is equals to, we have the one value, that is a c by lambda. H c by lambda is equals to mc square. So once you observe this equation, within the left side we have the c, within the right side we have the c, so then both are cancelled. Then we will get h by lambda is equals to mc. So this lambda can be taken the right hand side and mc can be taken the left hand side. Then h by mc is equals to lambda. So then lambda is equals to h by mc. Okay, so this is the lambda is nothing but wavelength. Okay, so this is our de Broglie wavelength, which is associated with the particle. Okay, so lambda is equals to h by mc. That is the wavelength of the de Broglie. Okay, so but once you observe here, c is the velocity of the light. So but if we want the small element wavelength, or a small particle wavelength, okay, so whenever it is in the motion, so that's when we need to replace this c is equals to v. Okay, so normal object, c is the velocity or speed of the light, so that's when we need to replace this c with the v. V is nothing but velocity of the normal particle. Okay, so then lambda is equals to h by mv, but the mv is nothing but momentum. P is equals to mv. Okay, so lambda is equals to h by mv, then lambda is equals to h by p. So this is our de Broglie wavelength. Lambda is equals to h by p for any particle. For any particle, lambda is equals to h by p. Okay, so this is about the de Broglie wavelength. Okay, so next one we have one more, the de Broglie wavelength. Okay, so but it is associated with the energy of the particle. Okay, de Broglie wavelength which is associated. Okay, so de Broglie wavelength associated with energy. Okay, associated with the energy. How we can find out the de Broglie's wavelength which is associated with the energy? Again the same thing here, there is no difference. Again we are consider one particle here. Okay, and we are supplying certain amount of energy to this particle here. So while we are supplying the energy to that particle, again it is in the motion. Okay, so or it will be moving from one point to another point. Okay, so due to this motion, what happened, it will exhibit the wave nature. So that's why here the wave is existed. Okay, so and then how we can find out the de Broglie wavelength? Okay, again we need to find out the wavelength, okay, of the de Broglie, but it is associated with the energy. So for that one, again we are consider particle and it will be in the motion, it will be exit the wave nature. Okay, so whenever a particle is in motion, what happen, that particle, moving particle will consisting always kinetic energy. Okay, so what is the formula of kinetic energy? Of mv square, E is equals to ke, that is equals to half mv square. Okay, so E is equals to, so this half mv square. Okay, 2 can be taken the left hand side, then 2e is equals to mv square. Okay, so then what happened here, we are multiplying the m multiplied on both sides. Simply we are multiplying the m on both sides. While we are multiplying the m on both sides, then 2me is equals to m square v square. 2me is equals to m square v square. Okay, so we already know that from the above equation the mv is nothing but p, so then m square p square is nothing but p square, that is a momentum square. So that's why only here we can write as a 2me is equals to p square. M square v square is nothing but p square. So then we need the value of p. So that's when the square can be taken in the left hand side. Then it will be converted as a square root. So 2me. P is equals to under root 2me. From de Broglie wavelength, but from the de Broglie wavelength, so the value lambda is equals to h by p. Okay, so lambda is equals to h by the p value how much? Under root of 2me. Okay, so 2me. Okay, so that is the de Broglie wavelength which is associated with the which one? Energy. Okay, so simply again we are consider the particle and we are applying the energy and it will be in the motion, it will be exhibit the wave nature and it will consisting of wavelength. Okay, so whenever the particle is in the motion it will be exhibit the kinetic energy, so that's a law of mv square. The m will be multiplied on both sides, then we'll get 2me is equals to m square v square. So then 2me is equals to p square. P will be square will be can be taken the right hand side, then it will be converted as a square root. P is equals to under root 2me. So but according to the de Broglie wavelength, so lambda, we have the formula lambda is equals to h by p, but we have the p value here under root of 2me. So p value substitute here under root lambda is equals to h by under root 2me. That is the de Broglie's wavelength which is associated with the energy. Okay, so and the last one, the last de Broglie wave equation which is associated with the electron. In before case it is associated with the energy, now it is associated with the electron. Okay, so electron, simply in before case we are taking the particle, now we are consider the electron here. Okay, so simply we are consider one electron and we are supplying certain amount of energy. Then how much of energy we are supplying here? Here we are supplying the ev much of energy. Okay, e is nothing but charge of electron, that is a e is equals to how much the charge of 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulombs, and capital V is nothing but applied potential. Capital V is nothing but applied potential. Okay, so then that's much of energy we are supplying to this electron. So whenever we are supplying ev much of energy to this electron, so again what happens, this is also in the motion. Due to the motion of electron it will be exhibit the wave nature again. Okay, it will be exhibit the wave nature again. Again we need to find out the wavelength of this de Broglie waves or matter waves. Okay, so then what happened, what is mean by matter waves? Matter waves are nothing but the waves which are associated with the particle, then those waves are known as a matter waves. So we need to find out the wavelength of this matter wave. Okay, so that is the lambda value. Okay, initially how much of energy we are supplying? E is equals to ev much of energy we are supplying. Okay, so whenever we are supplying E is equals to ev much of energy. Okay, for example this is considered as equation number 1. So then the moving electron will consisting of energy, how much it will consisting of kinetic energy, that is the ke is equals to half mv square. That is the equation number 2. Once you observe, the equation number 1 is equals to equation number 2. Why? Because both are the energies of the electrons only. Okay, so that's why 1 is equals to 2. So then ev is equals to half mv square. Okay, so then 2 can be taken to the left hand side. 2 ev is equals to capital V, this is not small v. Okay, so mv square, again m will be multiplied on both sides. Okay, m multiplied on both sides. While we are multiplying the m on both sides, so then what happened, so 2 m e capital V is equals to m square v square. In the left hand side we don't have the m, so that's only 2 m e v. So in the right hand side we already have m, so that's only m square v square. Okay, so 2 m e v is equals to m square. Again m square v square is nothing but p square. P square is equals to 2 m e capital V. Okay, so again square can be taken to the right hand side. Okay, so then p is equal to, it will be converted as square root 2 m e v. But according to the de Broglie, okay, according to the de Broglie, so what happened, the wavelength of the de Broglie lambda is equals to h by p. So we know the value of p from the above equation, lambda is equals to h by under root 2 m e v. Okay, so this is again the de Broglie's again de Broglie wavelength which is associated with the electron. Simply in before case we are consider the particle, Now we are consider the electron. That's it. Okay. So how much of energy we are supplying? E, V much of energy we are supplying. E is nothing but charge of electron. Capital V is nothing but potential. Which potential? Supplied potential or applied potential. Okay. So E is equals to EV much of energy we are supplying. Then we'll get the energy. Which energy? Kinetic energy of mv square. Okay. So we are the both are the energies of the particles only. So that's when we need to equate both of them. While we are equating both of them, then we'll get the value of P momentum of the electron. That is equals to under root of 2 MeV. So but from the de Broglie, lambda is equals to h by P. Lambda is equals to h by under root 2 MeV. Okay. So once you observe the above formula or last formula, there is a lambda is equals to how much? Lambda is equals to h by under root 2 MeV. Okay. So we know all these values. Once you observe, lambda is equals to h. What is the h value? 6.625 into 10 to the power of how much? 10 to the power of minus 34 joule second. Okay. So m, mass of the electron, how much? 9.1 into 10 to the power of minus 31 kgs. Okay, e charge of electron 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulombs. We know all these values. Okay, we don't know the value of V, capital V, that is a supplied potential. Then substitute all those values. Lambda is equals to 6.625 into 10 to the power of minus 34 whole by under root of 2 into m is nothing but 9.1 into 10 to the power of minus 31 into capital V is nothing but 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulombs. Okay, so into capital V. Okay, so while we are calculating all these things, okay, while we are calculating all these things, then we will get the value of lambda. How much? Lambda is equals to 12.27 by under root V. Okay, angstroms. Okay, lambda is equals to 12.27 by under root V angstroms. Okay, so that is the final value of the de Broglie. Okay, so when we are using this formula to find out the de Broglie's wavelength, whenever the given the value, they will give the value of which one? The potential. If you know the potential, then we can easily find out the wavelength of the de Broglie. Okay, so this is all the de Broglie's hypothesis we know. Okay, so we'll continue in the next session.